guys, TinaGale here, and I don't know about you, but I have Pinterest boards galore and layout after layouts pinned for inspiration and always thinking, oh, I want to go recreate that or take my own spin on it. So I decided to take some time and see what I can do to knock out some of the inspiration that I have pinned. So this is the layout here that I had pinned, and I think I'm going to pretty much copy it. I really love all of the circles on the side. This is a layout by Lisa Dickinson that I found on her blog, and so I'm going to change it up just a little bit because of the amount of photos, and of course this is a Christmas layout. So I've pulled out some older October afternoon, and some of these were in the October afternoon warehouse box that I just got, so I'm trying to go ahead and use that up, not just put it in my stash and forget about it. So I have this great paper here, so it has all these circles, so I thought they were very fun, and these are photos of my son when he was quite young. So I've just punched those with a circle punch. I found this sheet here from Saturday morning that has all the cereal boxes, and he's grabbed a cereal box and is eating out of it, so I thought I might be able to pull that in. And I have this one with the star background, and this one that says rock candy, and it's just a graph with blue and green lines in it. So, and these are some October afternoon embellishments that I found. I also have just a few other things for my stash, so we'll see what I use. So let's get going. I took my circle punch and just punched out some of the circles in that pattern paper, and then I also just took some of the regular pattern paper and cut a couple of extra circles from it. And I'm just going to space them out on this grid background the same way as my inspiration layout, and then start working with my photos and embellishments. So on the layout that I'm scrap lifting, she had 3 photos, but I'm going to change out the one for that cut apart that was the cereal boxes. So that was really perfect for this. There was quite a bit of debating onto which box that I wanted to use. There were several that had little words that I thought were cute. But I ended up going with this owl with the Hootenannies. I just thought it was cute, and mostly just the colors of it worked well with what I was doing because all of the pattern paper is very colorful. There's large prints like the polka dot and then very detailed ones with the images. And so I really wanted something that would be different with the oranges, and the other ones had some blue and red, which worked well with my color scheme, but they were very competing with the photos and then the background. So this one just kind of rested in the background, but yet popped enough that I could use it as my title. Then I'm also going to use a lot of different phrase stickers and things to help with subtitles and just telling the story just a little bit more. So I ended up matting my photos with some of the pattern paper. It's the one, I think it's called Bacon. Just kind of the rusty red. I wanted just a little bit of pop against that grid background. And I went ahead and pop dotted the cereal box up on some foam, some fun foam, so that it would come up off the page. And then I'm just going to start working with the little embellishments. And I have just a couple, and the main things that I were looking for were the colors. I wanted to repeat the red and the yellow and the blues. So I'm going to end up with a couple of different values of blue and a couple of different of the yellow, kind of the yellow to the orange in my embellishments. And then you'll notice here underneath this cereal box, I kind of have this dead space because I didn't completely fill the background with circles because I knew they were going to get covered up with photos and embellishments. But when I got further into it, I realized that I just really had that hole and it needed another one. So I was playing with some different embellishments to see if it was going to cover up, but I decided to punch another circle. And you'll see that I even pulled some of the flare out to see if maybe I could use it and repeat the circle. But the punched paper worked out better. I wanted more embellishing, but I needed to get away from just the flat paper, so I pulled out these chipboard stickers that I had, and there was this camera that was in the lighter blue, so I really liked it, and it had the one that says look at the camera, so I used it up at the top, and then the arrow that said love this over in my other embellishment cluster. So you'll see I've started building up that triangle area of clusters, and I'm just repeating the textures and the colors and trying to get some word phrases in each one of those. And then I have these stickers here that go with the collection as well. I'm going to pick out a couple of the word phrases to put in because I've had trouble using this sticker sheet up because it's all about breakfast, and I just don't have a lot of photos about breakfast. And even though I always stress you don't have to go with the theme that things are, when it says pancakes and breakfast in bed and things like that, that's pretty theme specific. So I've had a hard time using those, and so I chose as many as I could to get on this layout that would work. Then I'm deciding on these photos, I still want a little bit more. I have quite a bit going on because of the circles, but I just wanted some more layers. So I chose some of this yellow paper, and this was the cereal box paper, and I just looked to try to decide which ones I didn't think that I would really use, and cut some squares out, and then I'll trim them down to just put a little bit of layer. It's not going to be a full mat behind the photo, but just enough that I have another layer of color and just another layer of paper, and then I'll just put those right back down where they were. And I've inked all of the edges throughout this layout within the brown. Another thing on some of these circles, I ended up taking a smaller circle punch and punching the images and then layering them so that I have two different values. That helped tie some of them into the other ones. Like the bowl of apples and stuff, I used that same paper that I had matted the photos with to pull some of that red in there because the apples were quite red. So I wanted to get that rusty red in as well. And the roller skate at the bottom, I did the same thing. I matted it with red because I needed some red to come down to the bottom of the layout. So that was just one more way that I could spread the colors around. When I put the circles on the background, I was also looking at the colors in those as well as the ones that had images. I didn't want to tuck one that had a image of a, like the dog, the cat, or something like that, where it was halfway under and you couldn't really tell what it was. The roller skate's tucked up under there, but you can still clearly see that it's a roller skate. So that's pretty much going to finish that off with all of those embellishments. Now I've gone to my enamel dots, and these are from Chicken Nitty, and they had the colors that I used with the two different colors of blue in these triangles. So I decided to use those up, and I'm just adding two triangles, one of each value of the blue, into each one of my cluster spots. And then I'm going to go to the other enamel dots and add in some yellow. And then I loved the stars, and since I had the star matted onto the background of this paper, this layout, I decided to add some of the dark stars, and they're kind of a dark navy blue to black. And I just put one of those in each one of the cluster embellishments. And that's going to finish the embellishing on that. I decided, even though that I inked the edges, I wanted just a little bit more definition, and I'd thought about taking it to my sewing machine, but since I'd already put the enamel dots and everything, it was going to cross over some of the areas. So I did my old standby, and I just took my journaling pen and did a rough little outline around the outside edges and some of the photo mats and even some of the circles so that I would get just a little bit more definition between the layers. And that's pretty much all I did. If you're not a subscriber on my YouTube channel, I would love to have you come over and check it out. I have a series that's been going that's on sketches so that you can change them up 3 ways or more. And that goes on every Thursday. And then for the Mondays in August, I'm sharing some layouts using 6x6 paper pads. So that's a lot of fun. And you can check that out as well. And I have Pinterest boards to go along with them. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you again real soon.